today? Yeah. And we're going to start by, I'll bring this back a little bit. We're just starting on all fours with our shoulders over our wrists and our knees over our hips over our knees. And from here, we're just going to take a deep inhale. So inhaling through the nose and then exhaling. One more breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Now we're going to incorporate our cat-cow. So you're going to inhale, round through the back, look towards your belly button, really stretch through the spine, and then exhale, release everything, bring your gaze forward, and then again inhaling, tucking that tailbone in underneath, press away from that floor, and then release everything. Inhaling, and then exhale. Let's do one more like this. Inhaling, pressing away from the floor, rounding that back. And then exhaling to release. Good. Come back to neutral spine here. And we're working into our quadruped position. So you're going to float your left arm forward as your right leg comes back. Sweep it off the floor. Lower that leg, lower the hand, draw it back in. And then again, we're going to swap our right arm sweeping forward, our left leg's floating up. And then drawing our hands down to the ground and that leg. So the aim with this one is to keep our pelvis really still. It's like we've got a cup of tea on the back of our sacrum and we're not letting it spill hot water on us. And again, opposite arm to opposite leg. And keep pressing away from the floor with that hand that's on the mat. Good, holding steady. On this next one, we're sweeping our left arm, right leg off. We're going to tap down with our arm and leg, and then exhale, draw it back up. And then again, tapping down, exhale, draw back up. Let's do 5 more here. Keep reaching long, 4 to go. 3 more here. 2, exhale, draw it up. Last one, keep the left arm, right leg reaching long. Open out to the sides, and then draw back behind you. Inhaling, opening up, exhale, draw behind you. Just 3 more like this. Hold strong through the belly. 2 more. And our last one here. Lowering it down. Nice work. Swapping over to the other side. Reach your right arm, left leg long. We're going to lift it up and then lower it down just to tap. And then exhale, floating it back up. Inhaling and exhaling, making sure you're pressing away from the floor. With that left arm, we've just got 3 more here. We've got 2. Exhale, draw up. And our last one, keep the right arm, left leg reaching long, opening out to the side. And then exhale, draw back. 3 more here, feeling this in the belly. 2 more. And our last one here. Lower the arm and lower the leg. Just come back into a child's pose position and reach your arms out long here. Inhaling and then exhaling, and then again inhale to prepare, and then exhale, release. Come back into that 4-point kneeling position. We're going to tuck the toes in underneath, and from here we're just going to press away from the floor, hover our knees off, just for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. So this one you're going to engage your lower abdominal, so I really want you to draw up. And then again, press away from the floor, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs. Nice work. And then again, exhaling, pressing away, holding steady through the belly, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. On this next one, we're going to hold for 5. And then after the 5 seconds, we're going to lift up into a downward dog position. So pressing away, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press evenly through both hands, lengthen the legs, and then pedal out through the feet. So you're getting a nice stretch through the back of the legs here. Pedaling out. Just 2 more. The last one, lower the legs. Let's hold it again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press away from the floor, pedal through the legs. So trying to aim those heels onto the mat here. Just 2 more pedals. Last one, lower the knees down, but let them hover. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lifting up the hips. Last set of pedals here. Good, really pressing away from the floor. We've got 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees all the way down to the floor and then untuck those toes. From here, you can walk your hands out a little bit further. We're coming into a little push-up position. So if you would like to go out a little bit further, it's going to be harder. Otherwise, you're going to keep those hands there, a little bit underneath the shoulders again. And you're going to bend the elbows out to the side, bring your chest to the floor, and then exhale, press away. So you want to maintain nice and steady throughout the belly. We don't want it sagging. And make sure you've got one long line from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Inhaling, coming down. Exhaling, pressing away. Holding steady through the belly. If you'd like to add on the challenge, walk the hands out. Bring the hips forward. Just 4 more little press ups here. We've got 3, 2 to go. And our last one here. Nice work. If you haven't already, reach the arms out long so they're at a diagonal. You're just going to sink back into your hips so that them fold and your bottom's sticking up. Arms are reaching long. It's almost like you're aiming your breastbone to the mat, so it's a nice stretch through the thoracic. From here, can you almost do like a Mexican wave with your back? You're going to round through the lower back, so draw your tailbone in. And from here, slowly going to uncurl that spine and then draw your gaze forward. Then again, with the straight back, press back into those hands, send your bottom up towards the ceiling. Keep the arms reaching long. Round through the tailbone, round through the back, keep pressing away from the floor. The last thing to uncurl is that spine. And then again, pressing away from the floor, bottoms high up in the air. Round through the lower back, we're starting that Mexican wave. And the last thing to lift is your head. From here, you're going to slowly lower yourself down to the ground. Beautiful. So we should be prepared for our swan here. So our hands are on either side, legs are reaching out behind us, and bring the feet together, press the pubic bone into the mat. From here, you're going to roll that pretend marble forward with your nose, lifting up the head. You're going to press evenly through both hands, lift off the hips, and then bending through the elbows. Slowly lower yourself down, 1 vertebrae at a time. The last thing to touch is the head. And then again, rolling that marble forward with the nose. Pressing evenly through both hands. Pressing away from the floor. Lower yourself down, 1 vertebrae at a time. We've got our last one here. Rolling that marble forward. Lifting off. Pressing away from the floor. And then lowering yourself down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice work. Reach the hands back behind you. Palms are facing up towards the ceiling. Nose is still on the floor. From here, with your shoulders, you're going to roll them back. Lift off both palms, and as you do that, you're going to reach your fingertips back towards your feet. Lift up through the thoracic, and then lower yourself down. Arms followed by your shoulders. Then again, exhaling, rolling the shoulders back. Lifting off the hands. Inhale, start to lift off the upper body. Reach the hands back towards the toes. And then lowering yourself down. We've got 3 more like this. Our shoulders are rolling back. Lifting off the hands. Inhale to extend. Holding it here. And then lowering ourselves down. We've got 2 more like this. Really work into the lower traps. Open up through the shoulders, lifting off the arms, drawing yourself off. Keep pressing the pubic bone into the mat, and then lowering yourself down. We've just got 2 more like this. Shoulders, arms, lifting yourself up, holding it here, and then lowering yourself down. We've got our last one here. Shoulders, palms of the hands, lifting your upper body off, drawing your gaze to the edge of the mat. And then lowering yourself down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice work. You're going to roll onto your side now. And from here, we're going to lengthen out through the upper body. We're going to place your top hand in front of the breastbone, and from here, our legs are nice and stacked. You can bend the bottom leg for a little bit more support, otherwise, keep them long. From here, we're just going to lift and lower that top leg. We're just lifting it so it's in line with our hip, and then lowering down. Lifting and lowering, holding steady through the lower belly, challenging the abdominals here, lifting and lowering. We've just got 2 more like this, and our last one here. On this next one, you're going to float that top leg up. Can you sweep it forward without bringing that top hip with you? And then exhale, you're going to draw it back. And then again, sweep it forward. We're not moving our hips. Draw it as far forward as you can. You should start to feel it through the abdominals. And then again, sweeping it forward, holding nice and steady, and then drawing it back. We've got 2 more like this. Sweep that top leg forward. It's a bit of a challenge. And draw it back. And we've got our last one here. And drawing it back. Nice work. Can you begin to slide that top foot up the inner thigh of the bottom leg? And from here, you're going to reach that leg long, draw it back down. And then again, sweep that top leg through the inner thighs, reaching it long, and then lowering down. It's like you're drawing your big toe along the seam of the pants. Reach the leg long, lowering it down. We've got 2 more like this. Really lengthen through that leg, holding steady through the pelvis. And our last one here, reach that top leg long, lowering it down. Nice work. Prop yourself up onto your elbow now, and we're going to bend through both knees here. We're going to keep the bottom leg on the floor, top hands in front still. We're just opening and closing through the top glute. So holding nice and steady. You're going to feel it through the glute med, and we still want that pelvis to remain nice and steady. So you're not letting that top hip rock back and forth. We're just opening and closing, feeling it through the glute. 5 more here. We've got our last 4. Toes are still touching for 3. We've got 2. And our last one here. Open up through that top leg. You're going to reach the leg long, bend through the knee, lower the knee. So we're opening that top leg, holding it here, reach the leg long, bend the knee, lower the knee. And then again, we're also keeping our pelvis nice and steady. We're not allowing it to rock back and forth. The only thing that's moving is our femur within the hip socket. Opening, reaching long, bending and closing. We've got 3 more like this. Really feeling that glute work. We've got our last 2. Good. And our last one here. Reaching it long, bend through the knee, lower the leg. You can tap out the glute if you wish. They're quite painful, those ones. They're little, but they're very effective. You're going to reach that top leg in front now. Bottom leg is nice and long underneath. Supporting yourself still with your both hands. Can you lift the thigh, the bottom thigh, off the mat, and then inhale to lower down? You can keep the toe pointed, but if you flex the foot, you're going to feel it more through the inner thighs here, whichever suits you best. But we're just lifting and lowering that bottom leg, exhaling and inhaling here. If you are flexing your foot, keep reaching that heel long towards the opposite wall. Lifting and lowering here. Using your breath, working the inner thighs. We've just got 5 more like this. 4 to go. 3 more. We've got 2. And our last one here. Float that bottom leg off again. Can you circle it in one direction? So tiny little circles in a clockwise direction. We've got 6 more here. 5 to go. 4. 3 more, 2, last one, reverse those circles in the other direction, keep the foot flexed. We've got 6 more circles, 5 more, 4 to go, 3, 2, and our last one here. Nice work. Lengthen both legs out now. We're going to come into our side lift. So if it's too challenging with both legs long, just bend through the bottom leg and the top leg is reaching long. You're going to press away from the floor, so you're going to lift up through the bottom waist. I'm going to keep both legs long. You're going to exhale, press away from the floor, lift your top hand up towards the ceiling. We're just going to hold it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. We've got 2 more sets like that. So if your top leg is long, bottom leg is bent, all you're doing is pressing away here. All right, when we're ready, exhaling, pressing away from the floor, holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lowering it down. Starting to feel it through the bottom waist. All right, and again, exhaling, we've got a last set of 10, holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lowering it down. Nice work. When you're here, we're going to press away. We're going to flip over to the other side, and we're starting with that side kick position. So we're nice and long throughout our body. Our left hand's in front. We're going to just raise that top leg up towards our hip and then lowering it down. Exhale, lifting. Inhale to lower. Again, holding nice and steady throughout the pelvis. We're not rocking back and forth on the bottom hip. We're just lifting and lowering. Our belly button's in. Just 3 more like this. We've got 2. And our last one here. Float the top leg off again. We're going to draw it forward as far as we can without letting that top pelvis come with us, and reach it back. And then again, sweeping it forward and drawing it back. Reaching it long. Hold steady. Feeling this through the abdominals. 2 more like this. And our last one here. They're actually quite hard, these ones. All right, with that top toe, we're going to draw it through the inner thigh, reach it long towards the ceiling, and then lowering it down. Drawing it up, reach it long, lower it down. And then again, bending, extending, reaching those toes. We've got 2 more like this. Letting it flow, and our last one here. Good, creating length. We're going to prop ourselves up by bending that bottom arm. Bend the knees here. Keep the bottom foot onto the floor. Just bring the knees so they're kind of in line with the hip, or at a diagonal, I should say. And from here, we're just opening and closing. Exhaling and inhaling here. Again, holding steady throughout the hips. We're not letting them rock back and forth. Exhaling, opening up through that top glute, starting to feel it through the glute med, and then lowering it down. If you wish, you can place your hand onto your hip. This way you're going to feel if your pelvis is shifting back and forth. Exhaling and inhaling. 3 more like this. We've got our last 2, and 1 more here. Great, on this next one, open up that top leg. You're going to reach it long, bend through the knees, and then lower down. And then again, open up that top leg, reach the leg long, bend the knee, lower it down. This one just works deeper into the glutes. Using your breath, exhaling, inhale, reach it long, bending and lowering. Open, extend, bend and lower, holding steady through the belly and the hips. We've got 3 more like this. Opening, extending, bending, closing. 2 more like this. Reaching that leg long, creating length. Last one here. Good, lowering that leg down. Beautiful. Draw the top leg in front. Reach the bottom leg long. Again, you can either keep the bottom foot pointed or you can flex it. From here, we're going to exhale, lift up that bottom leg. Inhale to lower it down. And then again, lifting and lowering. Keep reaching that heel towards the opposite wall to really create length through that inner thigh. Hips are steady. The only thing that's moving is that bottom leg. Lifting it up, lowering it down. And it's nice and controlled, this motion. Exhaling and inhaling. 4 more like this before we come into our circles. 3 to go. We've got 2. And our last one. Nice. Lift that bottom leg off again. We're going to circle it around in one direction. Whichever direction you choose, because we will be reversing it. Good. Keep circling that leg. We've got 5 more here. 4 to go. 3, 2. Last one. Let's reverse that circle. Keep reaching that heel long. The whole leg is long. The only thing that's moving is that inner thigh. We've got 5 more here. 4 to go. 3, 2. Last one. Lower that leg. Nice work. From here, we're going to prop ourselves up. We've got the side lift. Reach both legs long. Or if you would like to modify, bend the bottom leg, keep the top leg long. Make sure that your elbow is in line with your shoulders. Hips are stacked. You're going to exhale, press away from the floor, draw your hand up towards the ceiling. We're holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 to go, 5, 4 more, 3, 2, 1. Lower yourself down. All right, we've got 2 more sets of 10. When you're ready, exhaling, pressing away, lifting off the hips, arm is reaching up. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3, 2, 1. Lowering down. Last set of 10 to go. When you're ready, exhale, press away, reach the arm long, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering it down. Nice work. You're going to roll over onto your front here. And from this position, we're going to come into our high plank. So keep the hands underneath the shoulders. You're going to reach the legs back. And we're just holding here nice and steady. We've got a 20-second hold. Keep pressing away from the floor. Feel like you're pulling the mat apart. And bottom's nice and low. We've got 10 more seconds here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees down. Reach back into child's pose. Inhaling here for a deep belly breath. And then exhaling, release. Walk your hands over to the right hand side. Place your left hand on top. Get a nice stretch throughout the left rib cage on the left side. And then exhaling to release. 1 more breath here. Inhaling. And then exhaling. Walk the hands over to the left. Place your right hand on top. And really breathe into that right side waist. Inhaling here. Exhale. And last breath here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Good. From here, place your hands back onto the mat. If it's too much on your wrist, you can create a fist with your hands as well. Otherwise, come down onto your elbows. We're going to reach back with our left leg. And we're going to just draw it up towards the ceiling and lowering it down. So it's almost like that quadruped position we did earlier. But this one, we're just focusing on creating length through that left leg. Reaching it up without letting our pelvis dip. And then lowering it down. Just 5 more here. We've got 4. Keep pressing away from the floor. 3 more. 2 to go. And our last one here. Can you reach that leg long again? Bend the knee, flex the foot. We're just sending the leg up to the ceiling for 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Lowering it down. Reach the right leg long. Create length from here. Lifting and lowering that right leg. Holding steady through the belly. Keep pressing away from the floor. You're going to start to feel it through the hamstring. Also the glute. Holding steady through the belly. We've just got 5 more lift and lowers here. Our last 4. 3 to go. 2. And our last 1. Can you float that leg off? Bend the knee, flex the foot, pulse the leg up. Little pulses. We've got 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4 to go. 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg. Nice work. We're going to come down onto our backs now. So lie yourself all the way down. Our feet are hip width apart. We're going to keep, draw the knees together, feet together, our arms out a little bit wider, and all we're going to do is drop the knees over to one side. Try and keep the knees together, and then use your abdominals, draw them back through the other side. Just allowing them to flop over. What we do want is our shoulders to still be attached to the mat. So inhaling, letting them fold over, and then exhaling, drawing back through center, and then again, inhaling, dropping over to one side, exhaling, drawing back through center. From here, can you float both legs into tabletop, keeping the knees and feet together? From here, you're going to inhale, allow the feet to drop over and the knees, just as far as you can without losing control, and then exhale, draw back through center using your obliques. Inhaling, and then exhaling. So on this one, when the legs are raised, my hips don't come off that much as they did when the legs were on the floor. It's just to control through the abdominals here. Inhaling, and exhale. Working through those obliques. Inhale, exhale. On this next one, you're going to let the legs float over. Reach the legs long, hold them there, draw back through center, bend the knees. And then again, over to the other side. Reach the legs long. Using your waist, draw them back through center, bend through the knees. And then again, last time on each side. Exhaling, bending the knees. One more here. Reaching the legs long. Exhaling, drawing back, bending through the knees. Nice work. You can draw your hands a little bit closer towards the body, and you can separate the knees here. We're going to inhale, toe tap down one leg. Exhale, drop back through center. Inhale, toe tap down your left leg. Exhale, draw back through center. So we've still got that neutral spine. We're not moving throughout our abdominals, but we're feeling it through our lower abs, this move. Inhaling and exhaling, using your breath here. Inhale to toe tap down. Exhale to draw back up. Nice work. We're going to float our arms up towards the ceiling. And as we toe tap down our right leg, our left arm is reaching back. Exhale, draw back through center. Then our left toes reach down, our right arm's drawing back. Inhaling and exhaling, getting in some arm arcs here. And it's okay if you have a little bit of tightness throughout the shoulders. Just reach your arm back as far as you can without forcing it to the ground. Inhaling, exhale, last two, and we've got our last one here. Nice work. Lower the legs down towards the ground. Keep the arms reaching up. Inhale here as we float our arms back overhead. And again, we don't want our chest to leave the mat like this. We don't want to flare through the rib cage. Keep the rib cage connected. It's almost like it's got bungee cords through the rib cage and the hips here. And I want you to just flow through this motion as best as you can without letting the rib cage flare. So it might look like the arms might not be able to touch the ground, which is okay. Just means you might be a little bit tight throughout the pecs or the thoracic. But we're just going to allow our hands to float over and then exhale, drawing back. Inhaling. And then exhaling. 3 more like this, opening up through the back. Exhale, draw up. 2 more here. Nice. And our last one. Inhaling and then exhaling. Nice work. Interlace your fingers here. Reach behind your head. You're going to support your head here. And from here, we're going to draw our opposite elbow to our opposite knee. So as you float your left leg into tabletop, you're going to peel your right shoulder blade off. Try and draw the elbow to the knee. Inhale to lower it down. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Draw yourself off. Inhale to lower down. So hold nice and steady throughout the abdominals. Just floating the leg up and then lowering down. Engaging that little bit deeper here. Draw your belly button to spine. Just floating that leg off, lowering down. Inhaling and then exhaling, adding in that little bit of rotation. Inhale and exhale. On this next one, you're going to float that leg up. Can you reach it long? Hold that twist, draw the leg up towards the ceiling, lower it down, bend the knee, lower everything down. So it's a bit of a series, this one. So you're going to draw yourself up, holding it here. Reach the right leg long, maintain the twist in the upper body as you float the leg up. Draw it back down, bend through the knee, lower the body. So again, rotating, reaching the leg long, drawing it up towards the ceiling, lowering it down, bend the knee, lower the upper body. So you should start to feel this working. Reach the leg long, draw it up, lower it down, bend, and release. 2 more here, we've got it. You can start to feel this through the obliques. Bend the knee, lower it down. We've got our last one here. Reaching it long, draw up, lower down, bend the knee, lower the upper body. Beautiful. From here, you're going to draw the knees into your chest, peeling yourself off. Hands are wrapping around the front. You're going to extend your left leg long as your left arm comes onto the right leg and your right hand is coming onto the shin of the right leg. From here, we're going to interchange. So keeping yourself peeled off the mat, we're reaching the legs long. Your belly button's drawing to your spine, holding nice and steady here. Just interchanging those legs, really starting to feel the abdominals kick in here. We've got 6 more like this. 5 to go. 4 more. 3, 2. The last one here. Draw the legs in. Lower yourself down. Lower the feet here. Lengthen out through the legs. You can really feel the abdominals working. Alright, from here we're going to float our arms overhead, similar to what we did with the arm arcs. We're coming into our roll-ups. You're going to exhale, start to float the hands so they're in line with your shoulders. Imagine someone's pulling you up by the fingertips. Keep flexion through the spine, reach the hands long, and then re-stack up nice and tall. And then again, rolling off your sit bones. Reach the arms overhead, feeling that deep abdominal connection as you roll down. Exhale, float the arms up in line with the shoulders. Pulling yourself up, rounding through the back. Reaching the arms long, re-stack up nice and tall. We've got our last one like this. Reaching those arms overhead, finding that length through the body. Exhale, floating them up. Nod your chin to your chest, round through the back, and then re-stack up nice and tall. From here, our legs are long. Draw your arms out wide to the side and draw your legs out wide as well. From here, I want you to inhale, grow nice and tall. As you exhale, you're just going to add in a little twist of the spine. It's like you're wringing out a tea towel. And then inhale, draw back through center. Exhaling, twisting around, try and get that rotation. Inhale, draw back through center. Exhale, rotating around. Inhale, draw back through center. And then again, adding in that rotation. We've got 2 more each side here. And we've got our last one here. Good. Bring the feet together. And from here, you're going to bend through the knees. Just reach behind the legs. Grab nice and tall or reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. You're just going to round through the back. Keep the hands connected to the back of the thighs. And then you're going to exhale, re-stack up nice and tall. And then again, inhaling, rounding through the spine, rolling off the sit bones. Exhale, reach up nice and tall. 1 more like this. Inhaling, deepening that flexion here. Exhaling, re-stack up nice and tall. On this next one, if you wish, you can reach the hands out in front. Inhale here, round through the belly. And then exhale, re-stack up tall. You're going to feel this more through the abdominals. Shoulders down. Inhaling here, deepening that connection. Exhaling, drawing up. Inhale here. We're going to hold it here. Can we pulse up just for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep that flexion for 6, 5, 4 to go. 3, 2. Last one. Draw yourself up. On this next one, we're going to roll ourselves back. Hold it here. Can you float one leg into tabletop? Lower it down. Other leg into tabletop. hold and lower it down. We're holding this little chest lift here, so working into the abs, lifting the legs up, lowering it down. If you want, you can add in opposite arm lift, opposite leg. See how you go here. Lifting and lowering. It's like a little march. We've just got 2 more like this. And our last one, exhale, resuck up nice and tall. You can place your hands around your shins. Reach the breastbone up. Try and create length throughout the chest. Feel the thoracic opening. Inhaling through the nose here. And then exhaling to release. Slowly round through the back again. You're going to roll yourself all the way down. Good. Place your hands to your side. You're just going to drop the knees from side to side here. Might release the lower back. Keep the feet away from each other and the knees away from each other. Just drop them over from side to side. One more here. Draw back through center. And then as you drop them over to the other side again, you're going to roll onto that side. Coming into our book openings here. So knees are nice and stacked, hips are stacked. Reach the left arm long. Inhaling to prepare. And exhale, reach the left hand up towards the ceiling. Keep the hips stacked. Try and place your left shoulder blade onto the mat. And then exhale, drawing back through center. It's really nice to open up through that thoracic. And then again. And then inhaling, draw back through center. One more like this before we sweep it overhead. And then draw back through center. When we're ready, we're going to circle this left arm overhead, stretching out through the pecs, that shoulder blade. Draw it down by your hips, and then again reaching up and over, getting that release, that further release. We've got our last one here. Inhaling, and then exhaling, sweeping it down and around. Good. From here, you're going to pick yourself up off the floor, swap over to the other side for that nice stretch throughout the thoracic, laying yourself all the way down, hips are stacked. And then again, reach your right arm long, inhaling here. And then exhaling, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Place your right shoulder blade onto the mat now. And then exhale, draw back through center, remembering to keep the hips stacked. They're not rocking back and forth. So just go as far as you can without letting those hips roll back. Sometimes it feels a little bit tighter on one side than the other, but it's still such a lovely stretch to do at any time of the day. When you're ready, we're going to sweep that right hand up and overhead. Get that stretch throughout the pecs. And then draw it down by your hips, and then again reaching up and over. Find that length. Sweeping it down and around. Last one here. Up and over. Good. Nice. From here, you're going to roll onto your back. And with your right leg, you're going to just draw it over your left knee. And you're going to stretch out your glute here. So you work the glute just a little bit. If you wish, you can grab behind the left thigh and get a deeper stretch again. Just make sure that your chest is wide and shoulders are down. Just take an inhale here. And then exhale. Release. Inhaling again. And then exhale. One more breath here. Oxygenate the body. And exhaling. Place the left foot back onto the ground, release the right leg. You're just going to bring the left foot over your right knee. Get that release throughout the hip socket. Reach behind your right leg. Draw it a little bit closer if you can. And we've got 3 deep breaths here. Inhaling through the nose. And then exhaling, releasing. Inhaling again. Exhale. Inhale for a count of 3. And then exhale, release. Place your right foot back onto the ground, your left foot's coming beside it. And from here, just fold the legs out to the side. Just bring the soles of the feet together, hands are on either side. Or you can place one hand onto your stomach and one hand onto your heart. And you're going to inhale here through the nose. And then exhale. And while we're lying here, I just want you to think about 3 things that you've done well today. Inhaling through the nose. And then exhale. Think about 3 things that you're looking forward to. And lastly, think of 3 things that you're grateful for. One more breath here. And then exhale. Slowly draw the knees together. You're going to bring the knees in closer to your chest, wrap your hands around the backs of the thighs, and you're going to rock yourself into a seated position. From here, we're going to come into our roll downs. So, stand with your feet hip width apart, and we're going to stand up nice and tall. We're just going to release our back here, and our hamstrings, our calves, hands along by our side, and we're going to nod our chin to our chest. Roll yourself down 1 vertebrae at a time. Bring the hands to the floor. You can bend through the knees if you wish. And then exhale, re-stack up nice and tall, keeping the hips in line with the knees and the ankles. The last thing to lift is the head. And again, nod your chin to your chest. Rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Legs can be bent if you need. And then exhale, re-stack up nice and tall. Just stretching out through the spine and the hamstrings. We've got our last one here. Nod your chin to your chest, rolling down. From here, can you interlace or can you grab onto your elbows here? You can have slight bend in your knees, and you're just going to rock from side to side. Stretching out through the back, let the head go heavy. Just rock in one direction to the other. Find your center again. Re-stack up nice and tall. Reach the hands overhead. You can interlace the hands together. Open out through the back. Grab the hands and just press into them, opening up through the chest here. And releasing the arms. You're all finished for today.